So, hi everybody and welcome back to some C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 40 and we continue with our solution for our exercise. And in this video I included this extra help code for developers, which we had a problem to see what actually our code is doing, right? Here at the start, for example, when we created this database, what was it assigning in, and then later how the score was calculated, and I showed you something like you can use debug, but the debugging there is a little bit hard to use, hard to tell. Instead, what we are doing now is just adding development code in it. It is something like, you can call it development check, which this code here, you will delete it later. After you finished this project, this code will be deleted because this is, or you will put it anywhere else, or you can even keep it in it if it's not harming the code. But this code is just for the developer, for example, for ourselves. And what does this code is just to check what you code so far, if it's true. In my case, I just printed out the values, and I will still check it later manually, but of course you could also make a check here a little bit more. In this case, I show you the code, what I wrote. It is just outprint, and then a for loop. I print out all the database 1, the database 2, and it looks like this. Very visible now. Code for our Superman. And you see, I see now for player 1, I reach this. You see now it's very visible what he, the database, the new database which is created here, got now this values, and sometimes he got 0 where he lost, and where he won he got his scores, and for the player 2 the same. And we can now compare it also. 43, he won here, he lost, he won, he lost, perfect, he lost, he won, yes, that worked. So all the code what we did so far worked. And here on the bottom I wrote here one more check. So for example, here at the last point we created the sum in a while loop, and we summarized the points, and I checked here this just with an outprint and values. So these are little checks which you can include, and you see it makes the whole process much easier than, of course, you can check this one here. Oh, let's say instead of checking here all with this debug, which is also possible, of course. Let's go here and see. Compare this a little bit. Code of our Superman. This one is okay, but I'm jumping now here and I'm at the start. I have to go one step further, and now I can see here the values too. And then you have searched the thing what you want to check. For example, here the end score, player end score. Is there here something like here 43 at the start, because this one is still looping. So which means here I have even to loop a little bit. Or I write here a new variable. Actually, there would be an easier way. Just write this variable. Or just check this variable here at the top. Instead here, that would be much better than what I did. For example, you could just check this variable here. Yeah, instead of checking this one, and this works faster. I think just to check the end sum. Where is it again? Here. Coder Superman, and now it jumps here, and one more step, see, and we have here player end score 0 at this point. That's bad. I have still go through this. Oh no, strange. I think I should write here perhaps later the variable again. Then I could skip all this anyhow. Is there a way to skip this? No, it's not. Or there was a way, actually. There is a way, not was. There is. You can point. Let me show this if this works here. Let me show you this, because this is very handy actually. Okay, I have again write this one fast. Coder Superman. Now it's going here again, but let's say you want not go here all like me. Now I'm in this loop, right? And in Visual Studio, I think you can go here and then you have press something. Oh, I just don't know what. And then you can press here something, go to this point here. The only problem is I forgot the command to go there. What was it in Visual Studio? I don't know. Anyway, that's not so important. There is a command which says go to this point here instead of going here. For example, this thing here, this yellow can go jump to this point here anyhow. I forgot the key binding here. Anyway, let's continue. After this one, you see we created now this. It's very visual, and we continue now with this one, and we have just to print out the winner. I have already printed out a calculation, but not in a very very user-friendly form, and that we are going to do. It's very easy. What we are going to do is just std again see out. We're printing something out, and we write the winner is, so we have to say who the winner is, and then we have print out the scores, right? And you can, of course, you can interpret this differently and make this differently like you want. I write here the winner is, and then I make here something like this, and then I write here something. I have to find, of course, the winner, and the problem is to find the winner I have to do one more step. I have compare again the end results, and the end results which is which we have saved here, and these are just integer numbers. So and how we are doing this, it's very easy. We use a if statement. It's all time. We compare something in an if statement, and then we say if let's say so the player 1 end score with player 1 end score, we take this one, is greater than or less, you can use whatever, player and score 2, then we do something. But here we have also one problem, right? We have not covered the case what happens if the score is equal. We will see this in a moment. Let's do this soon. Let's finish this one. So we write the body, then we check the second state, which is if, else if, not else if. We say what happens if they are equal. Let's start perhaps with equal, and then let's continue with, let's copy this one here again, copy this one here down, and write it if it's greater than u1. And of course you can shorten this all time things up, but I'm lazy. I just want to write type a little bit less, and so, and here I say if the player 1 is less. I could just here make here less instead this one. Oops, less. So I have now all the conditions what can happen, because I have to check all the things what can happen. It can be equal, it can be greater, and it can be less. Yes, I checked now all, and now I have to write the message what happens when it happens. So if it's all, I write it something here. I write something like as see out again. It's a draw, right? It's a draw. It's a draw, and then I will print out something like, let's see, it's a draw, and I will print out also the score. But let's finish first the message. in all three, and then we print out the scores when we compare them. So it's a draw, compare. Here I paste just this one in and paste this one in to make it speed up a little bit. And here I just write the message what happens here. Player one, also, and then I'm careful. I want it says I want print out the winner, which means perhaps also the player name. So how I'm using that in an outprint, we learned this already. It's very easy. We get here, in this case, player one. So I need the player one name, and the name is saved on top. Here, the player one name, right? I get this variable here. Where is it? Player one name. One name, yes, this one, and then I print out you won, or something like player one won the game, or something like that. You can write what you like. Player one won. Here a space because it should not be connected to this one. Won the game, and congratulations, won the game. And you can write congratulations, something like that too. Won the game. Punct. Congratulations, something like that. And then let's write a new line here too. That's all time nice to learn new it. Of course, instead of a new line, you can use the alternative, which is end line, but then you have to write something like, let me show you this one, and as the D end line, right? This one we learned as well, but just to know it. And yes, we have now this one, and the same goes here. Here we check player one end score. Here, actually he lose, right? And in this case, we write player two won the game because his score is less. So we can actually get rid of this line, copy this line a little bit faster, and then instead of player one, player two won the game, congratulations, because this one is the opposite, right? So far so good. We can check this code, but we can't check it actually because we have, or wait a second, we can check the code because this one we have already finished, right? The scores is there. The only thing which is missing is I need to print out the winner. Yes, I printed out the winner, but I wrote here in my description one more thing of the player who gets his number. Not in this description, sorry. Here, print on screen the winner with his points, right? And here on top, I missed that definition. Here I want print out the winner, and so we have extend our plan and his and their points. Their points. Print out the winner. Oh, this one is not right definition. Print on screen the winner with his points compared to the other. I should read here a little bit more, compared to the other. So I need to do here one more thing. I want print out the winner. I did this so far, and compare points. And compare points. So, and how you do this, you can be creative. I make it very simple. I will just print out a compare points out as well in a separate way, which means I go here down and then I write here as they say out, very simple, and I write here yeah, let's make a description again. Description is very important all the time. Also, points achieved, points from both players, perhaps from both players compared, something like that. Players compared, something like that. Points from both players compared. And then I write here the comparison. And very easy, we should write here something more, which is Now you can make this like you want. I make this now. Not, I think I make it again too complicated, like it should not. I can go here, new line. And yeah, I can go here on and I write here. Let's see, player end score. I need player number 1 end score, player end score. No, end score. What I wrote there. Oops, where is that? Where I write? That's why I should write the variables on top. Now I have to search the variable names in this one. Player number 1, player end score was here anyway, right? Here, player 1 end score. Okay, there. Player end score here. Player end score 1, and I wrote something wrong again. The winner is... This one is completely wrong. I don't know. Also, let's go here. I messed here a little bit around because that was too messy. Let's go on. Okay. Player end score was it, right? Player end score. Points from both players. Player end score, but here it's not right. Why it's not right here? Let's make it a little bit more visual. That's more compared. I could write this in one line too, but then it's not very visual and too complicated. And then I write here player 1, very simple. Then I write this one. I make not a new line here, and then I write here concatenate player end score. This is for my player end score. And then I think I go here for a new line after this one to make it sure. And the same, I go for the player 2. Oops, Control Z. I hope this works. Control C for copying, pasting again. Change this player 2 and right here the player 2. Perfect. So I just make just an output and let's see if this looks anything. I just throw something in and I hope it works. If it's not work, no problem. Making mistakes is good, but solving it's better. Coder, Superman, and this one is just debug. This is just what we created for check, and this one is actually our output, and it's a draw that looks not good. Points from both players compared, and then I have. So there is the problem. What we see here is formatting problem, right? It works anyhow. No, it works not. We see another problem here. I have here 2 times the same number, which means I have a problem. And the problem is actually that something went wrong. Oh no, what I crapped here. I have to check this out. And what we are going to do is probably I crapped it here out, but let's make the formatting and then check this number fast. So the formatting was here compared to player numbers. Here I need a more new line. Okay, here I have a new line. Oops, not here at this point actually. Let's add this new line here on. We could add this here on in front too. Why not? It works on front too. So we add here in front a new line, and now we have solved this problem, I think. And the next problem was here, player 1 score and player 2 score was not right. It showed the same score anyhow, right? But when we started the program, careful, just for check, I show you something. Superman. But here, important is, this one was right. Our calculation was not the problem, and that's why we made this debug here. But this one is wrong. And now we know, aha, we have to check just after this calculation. We don't need to check the whole code again. So there is a problem, but till this point is all fine, which means when I stop this now, I know my first check was this one, it's all fine. My second check was this one, it's all fine. So I grabbed anywhere here, which means I don't need to watch all the code which I wrote to this till this point. That's nice, that's very nice. And there was one more space check here, this new line for formatting. And now what we have made wrong, and this kind of thing actually we can check if we, of course you can think, but let's use the debug here because we should train a little bit debugging. And yes, debugging is very, very important and to train it. And let's do it at this point. So I go here to this one. I want to see why this one prints out this strange thing here. Of course, you can think it and find it very easy too, but let's use the debug. It should debug for us. Go there, Superman. So, and I'm here, and let's see where I'm at this point of time where I am. All right, I'm distracted by the way here on the side. Okay, now here at this point, player end score 1 is 204, player end score 3, it's perfect actually. That's what we expected. So let's go on. So first let's watch before we go on what should happen. In the end, I want that the winner is presented, right? And I have forgotten this at all. That's perfect. And then I want that the player 1 score is presented and the player 2 score is presented, which means this one should actually work. But why it's not working? Strange, right? Let's go on. I go to the next point. Okay, here it would say it's a draw and player 1 and player 2, and very strange thing happens here. It says player 1 end score and player 2 end score. Here at this point they are equal. Wait a second, we said it was fine. Why they are equal at this point? That makes no sense at all, right? Anyhow, it makes no sense, but they was equal actually. So what, I missed something. And the problem here is, you see it or you don't see it? What is the problem? And that is a problem what happens a lot, and that's why we made it. The problem is equal. It is not an equal operator. It is an assignment operator. And this is the worst problem at our beginners. And you see, I made it too. Not really, but I made it. And we have it. And let's compare this one too. Right, let's see if our program looks a little bit better. Coder, Superman. And yes, almost, but there is still one problem, or no, it's not. Actually, it works. Well, the only problem which we have here is at this point it prints out our check development. This one we don't want as a result. Yeah. So what we are going to do is now we have to get rid of it, but you can just uncomment it, Control K and then C after K, then you can comment it. And let's do this other thing too. I don't want to kick this out. Perhaps I need a new line there. I'm not sure. Control K to comment this one as well. Save this all. Start it. Let's see how this works. There, Superman. Yes, also Superman won the game. Congratulations. Points from both player compared. Player 1 is 204, player 2 is 303, and Superman is indeed my player 2. And here is a little bit formatting problems, of course, but this formatting thing is later when we learn, let's say, a graphical interface. It will be placed and ordered in a very nice way. In our case, we just make it, let's uncomment this one probably, so that we like it. So this one is actually more or less, you can here change it more, make it more visible. And we compared in this video, I think not many things, but not all things, but many things. Because, yeah, we used many things what we learned so far. It was, and we learned to use a little bit more the debug tool and also this development check code for ourselves. Very important that you delete this check, or not delete, uncomment this or put it in another place. And this checks here, what you see here actually will be replaced later perhaps with a more advanced check system, because there are interesting things. But at the end, I want to say we are not really at the end, because there is one more thing to do, and you have to convert this one to an exe file. Train this as well. We made this converting to an exe file already. I'm not going to show this because this series of solution was already long. But what I want to say is what you learned in this solution of this exercise is to see that we have just learned a few keywords. These are really the keywords which we learned so far, but we have to learn to use them. And you see, even they are less, you must train to use them. And here you saw some different cases how to use them. Here in for loops, in if statements, in arrays, and then in call and print out. So that's not too much, but it's for a starter, it's much, I think. If you keep up till now and have programmed your own solution, then you accomplished a massive thing, because for a starter, this point is absolute huge. This is really huge programming already. Of course, we will develop and find more things, make our life easier, because this array here is not very effective. And yeah, but congratulations if you made it so far, and if you found your own solution. And if you found no solution, no problem. Making mistakes is very good, but at the end, and that's the most important thing which counts, at the end only the result counts. And why is that so? That's very important to note here too before I stop. At the end, the customer or the final product will only see this one here. For example, the customer don't care about your code. The customer will, or yourself will, don't care about your code later. You will just reach your goal, and if this is the goal, that matters, right? So they will not ask you later how you programmed this. They will not ask you how long you programmed this. They will not ask you, the customer, why you make this so and this so. The customer will check the result, and if he is satisfied, he say okay. If he is not satisfied, then you crapped. That's the end. But very important note, of course, if you are working in a development environment and work with others, they will ask why you do this so and why you do that and so on. But if you are working on your own or so on, at the end it counts the result. If the result satisfies the goal, perfect. If not, then change it till it satisfies the perfect. That means making a program to work. Make it work. And with that said, I hope you converted this to an Excel file too. Then you can start it with an application. And now we trained a long session here with making this exercise. And yes, one more word, training, because learning the keyword just alone, yeah, you see it in this. If you followed this exercise, you see just knowing the keywords alone will not help you. You need to learn to use them. And this is only one use case. And there are millions of use cases, of course, later. But we did one, and now I stop and I say good luck. And in the next video, we start again learning some keywords, very basic, very easy ones, and very short videos again. See you there. Bye.